Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think I was just talking this whole time and I don't think I was inside the room, so I apologize. Anyway, I began with Khutbat al-Hajj as normal and said today we're going to cover Ikhtibar ala Kitab al-Siyam. And this is taken from this book here. If you give me 1 second. التعليق المحرر على كتاب الفقه الميسر في ضوء الكتاب والسنة. So this book is a 2-volume book. It is thick, right? And there are 2 volumes. This is the book, inshallah ta'ala, that we're going to take the test from. It's just an explanation with some brief notes upon the book al-Fiqh al-Muyassar we've been studying. So, inshallah ta'ala, I didn't put a whole lot of thought. I'm not sure if I said this before or after I came in the room. I didn't put a whole lot of thought over the weekend or over the last day of how we'll do this test. So we're going to wing it. We're going to make it happen, inshallah ta'ala. It'd be good if people were in the room. I know Amr said he's going to be a little bit late. Anyway, as we said, there are 4 questions. Let's read through the test real quick and give us an idea of what's here. At least let's look through it. And then we'll read each section one by one. So, ikhtibar, the word for test, ikhtibar ala kitab al-siyam. As-su'al al-awwal, the first question. And as I said, when they do things in Arabic, they do things a little bit different than we do. You know, we would consider maybe, we would say probably like fill in the blanks. And then every one of these would be considered a different question. That's not how they do it here. They do all types of one question as one question. Just what they do. So here we have akmil, akmil, akmil. It's a command. Complete. Basically, fill in the blanks. Not the translation of it, but akmil. Imla al-farag would be like fill in the blanks. But here, akmil, complete. So we have 5 questions. 5 questions inside of this, or 5 parts inside of it. Second set of questions. Dha, which comes from waw, dad, ain. Ala, sah, amam al-ibarati, الصحيحة وعلامة علامة الصح would be a check, right? Alama, the sign, place the sign of correctness in front of the phrase or the sentence which is correct. وعلامة خطأ أمام العبارة أمام العبارة الخطأ, and the sign of, and place the sign of an X, right? The 5 questions. Is this basically true or false? Right? Then we have the third set of questions. السؤال الثالث. اختار مما بين القوسين. Choose from what is between the parentheses, basically multiple choice. And then there are five questions. Then we have with us السؤال الرابع, the fourth set of questions. أجب عن السؤالين الآتيين. Answer the two following questions. Basically, these are like those, right? You have to actually write something out here. You have to answer in a paragraph or in a sentence, whatever it might take. So we have, what do we call these in English? Maybe I can't think of what it's called in English. Where you have to write something out. I can't think of it. Here we have multiple choice. Here we have true and false. And here we have fill in the blanks. Essay questions. That's the word I'm looking for. The last two are essay questions, but they don't require off. Don't know.
Assalamu alaikum, Akhi. I think it cut you off.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. I apologize. I don't know what happened, but I'm back. What happened? I apologize. Tayyip. I mean, Abdullah, he keeps going in and out, but I'm here.
I can hear you, Chef. Can you hear me? Sorry, Ustad. I'm sorry.
No, not Ustad, just brother. That's all. This is something what people don't know.
I'm sorry. My big brother. Forgive me.
You have to maybe turn your volume down. I don't think you have a headset. You got an echo, but you have to maybe turn your volume down. Yeah, you have to either have a headset, Akhi, or you have to turn your volume down because it's everything we're saying is just echoing right back into us.
Got better.
Inshallah. Yeah, it's much better. So, yeah, well, people don't understand. I don't know where I cut off at. I don't know what's going on, but I was just reading the questions. But the word ustad or the level of ustad is actually higher than someone with a doctorate degree. It means a professor. Not everyone with a doctorate degree can teach. And ustad is an even higher level than that. And this is what people not really knowing what these terms might mean. And they try to get around using the word sheikh and all that, man. Just brother. Alhamdulillah, just brother, man. The rights of a Muslim over another Muslim are 6 or 7, depending on the narrations. And wallahi, that's a lot to be answering for on the day of judgment. Then you add the title sheikh and all the responsibilities for all that, and ustad and all of that. Wallahi, just leave it and make it simple, inshallah.
Forgive me,
anyway,
my big brother.
No.
You're gonna have to carry the title of big though with me because you are my big brother, and I love you for the sake of Allah.
I'm bigger than most people, mashallah. Almost done. No problem.
I may be a little bit taller, but we're talking in terms of knowledge and just guidance.
Oh, you must be taller, but you ain't fatter than me, so you know, alhamdulillah.
I'm just tall and slim.
Man, I love you, man. I love you. طيب. This السؤال الأول. Amir, are you with us?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. طيب. I don't know, like I said, I don't know where my voice cut off earlier, but I was talking about believing in an open test or an open book test, because no matter what, I give you these 17 questions and give you 30 minutes to answer them. Even if you have an open book, even with all your notes and your translations of words and all of this, if you haven't looked it over and you haven't paid attention, you're not going to be able to answer it no way, even with the papers in front of you. You know, so I don't mind an open book. At least if you can answer, it means that you have, with an open book, your papers in front of you. At least it means that you are aware of the subject and you're able to, you know, dig around inside of it and find what you need to find. And that's all is asked of us, you know. So anyway, we went through this and we said the su'al al-awwal, or the first section of questions, has fill in the blanks, akmil, where you complete the empty spaces here. The second set of questions has true or false. Da alamat al-sahih amam al-ibarat al-sahiha wa alamat al-khata amam al-ibarat al-khata. Then you place a check, the sign of something being correct, a check in front of the correct statement, and the sign of being incorrect, or the X in front of the incorrect statement. And then the third set of questions is ikhtar mima bain al-qawsayn, choose from what is between the two parentheses, basically multiple choice. And the fourth question is essay questions. Ajib an al-su'alayn al-atiyayn, answer are on the two following questions, basically the two scenarios. You got to give us what needs to be done. And we said, covered that. What are they? Now we're going to read through the questions real quick. This is giving everybody a chance to get in the room, everybody a chance in here to hopefully find the answer, inshallah ta'ala, and then we're going to answer them. So the first question we said, rukna, which is really ruknan, because it's mudaf, we lose the noon at the end. Rukna as-siyam. The two pillars of fasting, huma, they are such and such and such and such. Right? What are the two pillars of fasting? Secondly, men jama'a. So let me go up here. Rukna as-siyam huma. This, what, this. Men jama'a, whoever had sex, fi nahari, or fi naharin, fa'alayhi al-qada. Right? Whoever had sex in the daytime, meaning of Ramadan, then it is upon him to make it up and to make up and something. What is that something? Wahiya. Now we're going to explain what that something is. Wahiya fa'in lam yastati'. And if he's not able to do so, then something. Fa'in lam yastati' fa, and then something. Amir, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are we answering this tonight or?
Yeah, we're going to answer tonight. But is it my fault you're going in and out or your fault?
It could be maybe my fault. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
could
I'm
be
not.
طيب.
So, من جامع في نهار فعليه قضاء و something. He has to make it up and do something. And what is that something? You're going to explain what that is. That something is. If he's not able to do this, then this. If he's not able to do this, then this. طيب. ثالثا ذوق الطعام. Tasting food للصائم. For the fasting person, what about it? Tasting food for the fasting person, such and such. Indil hajat. If there is a need. And it is such and such in the adam al haja. And it is something, fill in the blank, when there is not a need. In the adam al haja. Right? What is it? Fill in those blanks. Number 4. يجب قضاء رمضان فورا. It is obligatory to make up the fast of Ramadan فورا, immediately. إن كان الفطر إن كان الفطر such and such. And the 5th answer, لا يجوز صيام أيام التشريق إلا. It's not permissible to fast the days of Tashriq except such and such. Is everyone with us?
No.
I'm gonna go down. We're gonna go through the next set of questions, and then we're gonna come back up before we go to the next set. We're gonna go down, and we're gonna go down. So then we're gonna answer this next. We're gonna answer the set we just went over after we look at this next set. Before we answer them, we're gonna find out what's there, become familiar with it, give ourselves a chance to think, and then we're gonna answer. Okay, da alamat al-sah amam al-ibarat al-sahih. Place a check before the correct statement. Wa alamat al-khata amam al-ibarat al-khata. And an X before the incorrect statement. Yushtarit. No. Yushtaritu an takuna aniyatu laylan في كل صوم. It is a condition that the niyyah, the intention, be made at nighttime for every fast. True or false? Khata, sah, khata. Sah, correct, or khata, incorrect. La yubtilu. لا يبطل الصوم ببلع النخامة. Fasting is not nullified by swallowing
Mucus.
mucus. Jazakallah khairan.
Yeah.
صح أم خطأ؟ ثالثا الصيام في رجب أو في رجب because it's ممنوع من الصرف في رجب مكروه. Fasting in Rajab is makruh. صح أم خطأ؟ Fourth, يبطل الصوم. Fasting is nullified. والاعتكاف بالاستمناء. Fasting and i'tikaf are nullified by masturbation. Sah am khata. Number 5. تقبل شهادة العدل. The shahada, the testimony of a just person, is accepted. Al-adl wahidi, one just person. The testimony of one just person is accepted. Fi dukhuli Ramadana wa Shawwal, for the entrance of Ramadan and Shawwal. Sah am khata. You want to answer the ones above, or do you want to go back and look at, and go down and read number 3?
I'm ready to go back and up and answer.
طيب. It sounds like you're ready. Rukna siyam huma. What are the 2 pillars of fasting? If you can answer it in Arabic, it's better. If you can only say it in English, alhamdulillah.
Al-Islam wa sanity. I don't know this one in Arabic. You must be a Muslim and you must have sanity.
Those would be shurut. Those would be conditions.
No, I'm sorry. Then
Rukna siyam, the pillars of fasting. Amr, you got it?
Wajib wa voluntary. Tatawwu'an. No, wajib and I'm sorry.
No. A wajib is a pillar of fasting. Come on, Waleed. Come on, Abu Abdurrahman Abdul Khalik. Help us out, man. Where's Abu Muhammad today, man? The pillars of fasting, Ya Akhwan. The pillars. The second class. The first class was an introduction all about the book. So the first class, the first lesson. The first lesson, inside of it, we talked about the definition of fasting and its pillars.
Fasting, abstaining from food and drink and that which would nullify the fast from Fajr until sunset.
That's ta'rifu.
That's one of them. Now the second one is what?
Al-imsak.
Now imsak, that is imsak. Abstaining is imsak. The second one is what?
I'm lost. I don't know.
No, you're not lost. You're not lost. As soon as I say it, you're going to kick yourself.
I know that تعريفه was al-imsak عن شيء, and then the second one was, but this was the meaning of siyam. So that's
No.
not what
Yeah,
we're looking at.
and yes, it was. It was the meaning of Siyam. However, we said we could see from that that the two conditions, that there were two conditions. If we looked at the definition, al-imsak and al-akl wa shurab wa sa'ir al-mufattarat ma'aniyya min tulu' al-fajr as-sadiq ila ghurub al-shams. That's the definition. So what we said, we can see from that, we can derive from that the arkan of fasting are two. Min khilal ta'rif as-siyam fil istilah يتضح أن الركنين أساس هما أولا الإمساك عن المفطرات من طلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس. That's the first one. The second was ma'aniyya, along with intention. So the two things, because we can abstain from eating and drinking and the rest of the mufattarat if we don't have the correct niyyah. I want to lose weight, right? I want to lose weight. That's not fasting, not in Islam. That's not a pillar of fasting in Islam. So we have to, number one, we have to have abstain al-imsak min al-mufattarat min tulu' al-fajr, and we could say al-fajr as-sadiq ila ghurub al-shams, to stay away from the things which break the fast from the appearance of dawn or the appearance of true dawn until the setting of the sun. That's number one. And number two is an-niyyah, the intention. Right? Got crickets in here, huh? You guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
طيب. Number two. من جمع في نهار فعليه القضاء و. Let's stop there. Right? What else is upon him? Whoever has sexual intercourse during the daytime of Ramadan, he has to make it up, and he has to
Free a slave.
No. What is a slave called? What does freeing the slave do? So al-qada makes up for the day that
Kafaya,
freeing the slave.
Kafara. He has to make a kafara.
A kafara. So من جمع في نهار فعليه القضاء والكفارة. Then he has to make it up and he has to make an expiation. طيب. Al-kafara is the word we're looking for in this first gap. Now, wahiya. Now we're looking for what is a kafara. Kafara, yes. What is the kafara here? The kafara is
free a slave.
Itqu raqaba, to free a slave. Itqu raqaba. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, and if he's not able to do so, he doesn't have the money or he can't find one to free,
he must fast 2 consecutive months.
فَصِيَامُ شَهْرَيْنِ مُتَتَابِعَيْنِ, then he has to fast 2 consecutive months. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, and if he's not able to do so,
then he has to feed 60 poor people.
فَإِطْعَامُ سِتِّينَ مِسْكِينًا, then he has to feed 60 poor people. Exactly. See, y'all got this. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Number 3. ذوق الطعام للصائم. Blank عند الحاجة. We'll put a line here for us. Tasting the food for the fasting person is something. عند الحاجة. Huh?
يجوز.
Permissible. Right? يجوز. Permissible. What? Blank عند عدم الحاجة.
ليس. I mean, يبطل صيامه.
يبطل صيامه
بدون حاجة.
Or would it be makruh? Is it something that actually breaks the fast, even if he doesn't need to do it? He hasn't swallowed it. He's just tasting it.
Or I understood that if he swallows it.
No, he can't swallow it. Even in the haja, he can't swallow it. That's eating, right?
So if he tastes in the food because he is a cook to see if the flavor is good, as long as it does not reach his throat.
As long as it not reach his throat, it's yajuz, right? Yajuz. But we're not talking about swallowing it. No, you can't swallow it. Even if you have a need to, you can't swallow it because you're breaking your fast then, right?
Yeah.
So it's yajuz in the haja. It's permissible in the haja. And if there's no need for it, then it's what?
Haram.
No, it's not haram. It's
Can we go
makruh.
back to Inda Adami?
Huh?
Adami again. What does Adami mean again?
Adam is like ghayr. Here it means ghayr. Adam means like non-existent.
So if there is no need,
خلق الله خلق من Adam. Allah created the creation from nothing. Right? Nothing. From Adam. Nothing. Nothing is there. So Adam. In the Adam al-Haja, without there being a need.
Then it is makruh.
It's makruh. Right? So he said in the book here, in our page, in our PDF here, page 11, ذوق الطعام لغير الحاجة فإن كان محتاجا إلى ذلك. So if he needed to do that, كان يكون طباخا يحتاج كأن يكون طباخا يحتاج لذوق الملح وما أشبه فلا بأس. There's no problem for that. ذوق الطعام للصائم, right? لا بأس or يجوز عند الحاجة. ومع مع الحذر من وصول شيء من ذلك إلى حلقه, along with there being careful that it doesn't reach his throat. Right? But this is from the section makruhat as-siyam. Makruhat, the things which are disliked. So it's not haram. It's not a sin if he tastes the food. It's only a sin if he swallows it.
No.
Right? It's not a sin. So, and it's permissible to do so if there's a need to do so. And if there's no need to do so, you shouldn't go around testing yourself and and putting yourself in jeopardy that maybe you accidentally swallow something and there's no need for it. Right? It's makruh, not haram. Not haram, and it doesn't break the fast because you're not swallowing it. طيب. Number 4. يجب قضاء رمضان فورا إن كان الفطر. It's obligatory to make up the fast of Ramadan immediately if the breaking of the fast blank
has no reason or excuse, no justified excuse or legislated excuse or reason.
نعم. إن كان الفطر من غير عذر المبيح, or something like this. If the fitr was without a justified reason, بغير عذر, without a reason, right? Without a reason, meaning a justified reason, right? Mubih or shar'i, عذر shar'i, something like this, right? يجب قضاء رمضان فورا. It's obligatory for a person to make up his fast immediately if he broke fast without a legislated reason. خامسا لا يجوز صيام أيام التشريق إلا. It's not permissible to fast on the days of Tashriq except
if you are making Hajj and you cannot find something to slaughter.
لمن لم يجد الحدي, for the one who does not find the sacrificial animal, right? للحاج الذي لم يجد الحدي, for the person making Hajj that is not that could not find the sacrificial animal. Any questions about this first section?
I feel like I'm doing all right in English.
You're doing all right in English, mashallah. You're doing good.
Mashallah.
Now, if we were just in English class, no, I'm just joking.
No. Inshallah, the next time we take this test, I will do it in Arabic. Bi'idhnillahu ta'ala.
Inshallah ta'ala.
No.
Next Ramadan, you'll be teaching it to the people in the masjid in Arabic, inshallah.
Inshallah.
سؤال الثاني, the second set of questions. ضع علامة الصح أمام العبارة الصحيحة وعلامة الخطأ أمام العبارة الخطأ. We don't need to translate that. We've been through it a number of times. Plus there's drawings there. We can figure it out, right? طيب. يشترط أو يشترط أن تكون النية ليلا في كل صوم. It is a condition for the niyyah to be at nighttime for every fast.
Incorrect. False.
Okay, why?
Because it is sufficient if one makes the intention at the beginning of Ramadan to fast the entire month. However, it is better to make it every night before the true Fajr.
طيب. That's correct. And you got anything to add? You want to add to that, Amir?
Is it the middle of the night?
No, I mean, it could be from the middle of the night. That's fine. Whatever, nighttime.
Right.
But anything else you guys want to add? في كل صوم.
Okay.
In every fast. What about voluntary fasting? Does it have to be from the nighttime?
لا.
No, it doesn't have to be from the nighttime for voluntary fasting, right?
No.
It can be
Then
the day before Dhuhr if you haven't eaten or drinking anything, right?
No.
طيب. Number 2, لا يبطل الصوم ببلع النخامة. Fasting is not nullified by the swallowing of mucus or phlegm. صح أم خطأ؟
ليس بصحيح.
لا يبطل.
No, it's wrong. It breaks the fast.
Because the mucus, while disgusting, has parts that could contain nutrition, and anything nutritional entering the system is a nullifier of the fast.
But was that inside the mubtilat siyam or the makruhat? Because we talked about this.
No, it's makruh. It's makruh.
It's makruh.
So this would be sah. This would be correct.
Right. La yubtilu. It does not break the fast. No one says that breaks the fast. No one says swallowing the. You shouldn't do it. You know, you shouldn't hop. We talked about it. Something is disliked. But no one says, oh, he's eating right now. He just swallowed. You know, no one says that. Right? ثالثا الصيام في رجب مكروه. Fasting during Rajab is disliked.
False. This is a false statement.
Would you say
statement?
One second. What'd you say, Amir?
It's false. No.
False. Okay, what'd you say now, Abdullah here?
It's false because it is makruh if you single out Rajab as something special for fasting.
No.
But if you are normally fasting Yom Ahad and Yom Khamis, or Yom Ithnain and Yom Khamis, then this is acceptable. Or if you fast the days that are light days, this is acceptable. But if you single it out for Rajab alone as something special, then this is makruh.
صح. طيب. Number 4, يبطل الصوم والاعتكاف بالاستمناء. Fasting and itikaf are broken by masturbation.
Correct.
طيب. تقبل شهادة العدل الواحد في دخول رمضان والشوال. That the fasting of the shahada, the testimony of one just person is acceptable for the entrance of Ramadan and Shawwal.
This would be incorrect.
Okay. Why?
The reason why it would be incorrect is because the ending of Ramadan or the ending of every month two just Muslims must testify to the ending of the month, while only one must testify for the entrance of the month.
Well, we're going to rephrase this. While you got it partially correct, it's a little bit. Basically, for the entrance of every month, you need two witnesses except for Ramadan. Because the exiting of a month is the entrance of a month. You understand?
No.
So when we to say 1 month left means another month came. So for every entrance of a month, we need two witnesses. But for Ramadan, we only need one. So when we say we need two witnesses for the end of Ramadan, we need two witnesses for the entrance of Shawwal.
No.
And every month needs two witnesses except Ramadan.
No.
Okay? So while your statement is overall, for the most part, not about beginning and ending, basically beginning. For the beginning of the month, we need two witnesses. Every month needs two witnesses except Ramadan. One witness is sufficient. We'll read this next page, both of them, and then we'll come back. السؤال الثالث اختار مما بين القوسين. Choose from what is between the parentheses, basically multiple choice. Number one, الصوم في الاعتكاف. Number one, fasting while in itikaf is wajib wa shart, is an obligation and a condition. Or number two, wajib wa laysa bi shartin, it's obligation but that's not a condition. Or number three, laysa bi wajib wa laysa bi shart, it is not an obligation nor is a condition. Number two, in aftarat hamilun, if a fasting woman broke her fast, bi sababi khawfiha ala waladiha wa ala nafsiha, she broke her fast because she fears for her child and for herself. Fa alayha, and it's upon her. First, qada'un wa it'am, making up and feeding. Or number two, qada'un faqat, making up only, or it'amun faqat, feeding only. One of those three. Number three, tabarru as-sa'im bid-dam, the fasting person donating blood is number one, makruh, number two, mubah, number three, muharram yufsid as-sawm. Number three, it is muharram and it spoils the fast. Number four, yawm ash-shak huwa, and this one, unless you guys see something I can't see, and I looked at it like 10 times, I cannot see. The first two options are the exact same options to me. But anyway, Yom Shak Huwa, the day of doubt, is number one, Al Yom Thalathun min Sha'ban in kana fi sama ghaym, the 30th day of Sha'ban if there was in the sky clouds. Then the second one says the exact same thing. This is the word. I'm just Yom Thalathun min Sha'ban in kana sama ghaym. I believe it's the same one. I don't know. And number three, Al-Yawm At-Tasi' wal-Ishrun min Sha'ban. What is the day of Shak? Which one is this? And number five, blank, أن يكون الاعتكاف في مسجد تقام فيه الجمعة يجب يستحب ويشترط أن يكون الاعتكاف في مسجد تقام فيه الجمعة. Those are the 5 questions. Let's read the next question and we'll come back. السؤال الرابع, basically essay questions. You just need a paragraph or two and in answering these, if you're going to do them in Arabic, which I'm hoping that you guys will for yourselves, that you actually do go in and fill in the blanks. And we realize that some of the blanks are not big enough, then write it all out. Write this whole test out. And fill in the blanks, write your lines underneath it, fill in your blanks, rewrite it with your own spacing for your own handwriting and all that. It'll be good for you. Wallahi, writing is a necessary task that you need for. I had one brother tell me man, I came for the dough in Kuwait, man, and I understood, man, but man, I could not take notes, man. I could not keep up with the sheikh. You got to practice writing. You got to practice writing, right? You ain't everything. Every class ain't gonna be a YouTube class where you can pause and go back and rewatch it or rewind a little bit. No, some things are gonna be live, right? And your phone's not gonna be. Your phone might be being used because you're letting me listen in, because I wasn't able to attend, so you called me so I could listen in. So now you can't record it, and with the brother recordings, I'm gonna get the number from the brother, and then you don't get his number, and then what? Now what? You have to be able to take notes, right? You don't want to just be a student online. You want to eventually go see Fozan in person and benefit from them. You're gonna have to be able to take notes, right? So you have to learn to write. So rewrite this test if you need to, and at the least, when you come to these questions here at the bottom, then you should at least write whole answers. Don't just give one-word answers if it's possible. So number 1, Afdara fi Ramadan ashrata ayamin. He broke fast during Ramadan 10 days. Bisababi mardihi, because of his sickness. Walam yaqdi hadhihi al-ayam hatta dakhala Ramadan at-tali. And he did not make up these days until the next Ramadan. The next Ramadan came and he had not making up those days. فَمَاذَا عَلَيْهِ. So what is upon him? And number 2, كانت صائمة فنزل منها دم الحيض. She was fasting, and then there came the menstrual blood قبل غروب, before the setting of the sun, باللحظة, by just a moment. Just a moment before the setting of the sun came her menstrual cycle. فَمَاذَا عَلَيْهَا. So what is upon her? While you think about that in the back of your head, and we're answering these questions up above, simple multiple choice questions. As-sawm fil i'tikaf. Alif. I was saying 1, 2, 3 earlier. We say this. Alif, wajib wa shart. Ba, wajib wa laysa bi shart. Jim, laysa bi wajib wa laysa bi shart.
Jim.
Fasting during i'tikaf, it is not an obligation, nor it is a condition. Right? Why? Because you can make i'tikaf at nighttime, right? And this is the correct answer. Because you can make i'tikaf at nighttime and there is no fasting. Right? And you can make i'tikaf anytime and it doesn't have to be fasting. And it's not a condition, nor is it an obligation. Number 2. إن أفطرت حامل بسبب خوفها على ولدها وعلى نفسها فعليها. Pregnant woman broke her fast, fearing her for her child and for herself. She must قضاء وإطعام. قضاء فقط, إطعام فقط.
Aleph.
Aleph, right? Aleph. Ba, Jim. She must make up and feed someone in place because she feared for her and her child. It's the fatwa of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma. Tabarra ad-dam. Tabarra as-sa'im bid-dam. A fasting person donated blood. Makruh, mubah, muharram yufsid as-sawm. Alif, ba, Jim.
محرم يفسد الصوم.
Muharram yufsid as-sawm. Exactly. It's prohibited and it spoils the fast. طيب. اليوم الشك, the day of doubt. اليوم الثلاثون من شعبان إن كان في السماء الغيم. ألف. اليوم الثلاثون من شعبان إن كان في السماء الغيم. باء. or ألف الثاني. I don't know. اليوم التاسع والعشرون من شعبان.
أول والثاني.
Aleph and Ba, right? Both of
Aleph
these.
and Ba, no.
They're the same thing. I don't know if this is a mistake, what they're supposed to be something different. I don't know. But maybe they're trying to trick you. Wallahi, sometimes in tests, man, they try to trick you because they want you to know and they want you to pay attention to the scenario. Sometimes someone asks you a question And you need to pay attention to those small details, because that might be that one little thing that he ain't emphasizing. No, but she did this and she did this. I'm telling you, man, this, I'm telling you. And then he throws in one little thing. But after I did, and then, but she did, and she, no, you, that one little thing that he ain't emphasizing might be the thing you need to be focusing on instead of all what he's focusing on. So they try to trick you a lot of times. Anyway, blank, is it yajibu, yustahabbu, or yushtaritu an yakuna al-itikafu fi masjidin tuqama fihi al-jum'ah? It's that the itikaf be in a masjid where there is Jum'ah. Is it yajibu, yustahabbu, or yushtaratu? Amr, you agree?
I think, yeah, I agree as well. Yajibu, for the man.
Jum'ah or Jama'ah?
I thought in the text it was saying about the woman that she doesn't have to.
Yeah, but this is for the woman. It does not have to, right? But this, see, it says yakunu. Either way, it says Jumu'ah, not Jama'ah.
Oh,
He has to be in there for Jama'ah, but Jumu'ah is mustahab, yustahabbu.
Yustahab, namba.
Yustahabbu for Jumu'ah. Now for the Jama'ah is wajib.
It is wajib.
But for Jumu'ah, yustahab. Right? We can't imagine missing Jumu'ah without a reason, but if you're in ibadah in another masjid and they don't have Jumu'ah, it's not necessarily a big deal. It's only one Jumu'ah or two maximum. Right? Two maximum. And you can do things
miss three, then Allah will put a seal over your heart.
Miss three without reason. But if you miss three without reason, though, right?
No.
That's missing three. So if you're in another act of ibadah, you're traveling, and you're doing something for Allah Azza wa Jalla, and there's no Jumu'ah, for example, wherever you're going to give dawah in some country where there is no Jumu'ah, it's just you and one or something. You don't have the conditions to fulfill Jumu'ah. You're not sinning at that point, right? Missing without reason. You're not missing without reason here because you're in the masjid making itikaf. طيب. السؤال الرابع. We've had a little bit of time in the back of our minds to think. أفطر في رمضان 10 أيام بسبب مرضه. He broke fast during Ramadan for 10 days because of his sickness. ولم يقضي هذه الأيام حتى دخل رمضان التالي. He did not make these days up until the next Ramadan came. فماذا عليه? So what is upon him?
I would first ask if he was sick throughout that time period, or did he become healthy?
It might not just be sickness. He could have been traveling.
Yes.
He could have whatever reason. It doesn't have to necessarily be sickness which prevented him. Was he able? Did he not make them up? Be othering or be ghayri othering? Did he not make them up because of an excuse or without an excuse? Because of negligence or because he had an excuse? So
that would be the first question I would ask. If he has no excuse, then
he's sick.
SubhanAllah. If he has no excuse, SubhanAllah, he's missed those days, and I don't recall. Let me see my notes.
Amir, what you saying?
His excuse is he's sick.
Oh no, he's not sick anymore necessarily. He was sick. That's why he broke his fast during Ramadan. But now he never made those days up. And the next Ramadan came. What does he have to do?
عنده الفراغ إلى رمضان الثاني.
What into who? What?
He has time until the second Ramadan.
Okay, Ramadan came and he didn't make them up. Now what? It says, "Lam yakti hadhihi al-ayam hatta dakhala Ramadan al-tali." The next Ramadan came around, he didn't make them up. What does he have to do? Okay, Abdullah here's got us on the right path. He's got us on the right path. We just got to figure it out. So now he's going to ask him a question. Be udhrin Oh,
Did you?
بغير عذر. Right? Did he do it with an excuse or without an excuse? Okay, let's say he had an other. Let's say he had an excuse. What does he have to do? If he didn't have an excuse, what does he have to do?
If he has an excuse, as soon as he is able to, he needs to make up those days.
Correct.
And that can be even, I think that can be after Ramadan.
Well, it has to be after Ramadan. You can't make them up during Ramadan.
Yes. After the second Ramadan, he would have to make them up, and I think there is upon him a kafara of some sort. He has to feed some poor people in addition to making up those days.
Okay. Amr, what you say? See, this is a fatwa. See, up above, we're just filling in the blanks, testing our information. Now we got fatwas here, right?
I would tell him to go to someone with more knowledge than me. La adri, go and seek your answer from someone who has more ilm than me.
But you studied this book, and the scenario was given to us inside the book, man. You should have enough knowledge for this. We're not asking you to solve the world's problems. We're just asking you something inside of Kitab al-Siyam and Fiqh al-Muyassar. So, he has an other, or he doesn't have an other. If he has an other, he has to make it up. He has al-Qada. He has al-Qada. He has to make it up. If he doesn't have an other, then he has to make it up and feed people. Al-Qada wa it'am. Let me see what page this was on. This was this is on page 12 of our PDF here that we have. He says, وإن أخره إلى رمضان الثاني بغير عذر فعليه من القضاء وإطعام مسكين عن كل يوم. Right, the last paragraph on page 12. And if he delayed it to the next Ramadan, then he, without an excuse, then he has to make it up and feed a poor person for every day. ولا يشترط القضاء التتبع, and he doesn't have to do it, all the making up in a row, right? Rather, he can do it together or break them up, this, and that, right? So that was page 12. طيب. Now, last question. كانت الصائمة, she was fasting, فنزل منها الدم الحيض قبل غروب بلحظة. She was fasting and her menstrual cycle came just a moment, just seconds, just seconds, just a minute before the setting of the sun. فماذا عليها?
She has to make that day up.
She has to make that day up. Al-Qada.
Because of the detail of the question, and even in the detail of the question, it is moments before. If she had made it until the sun set, then she would not have to make that day up.
Correct. See, then you can get tricky. So what happens if just after she broke her fast and then she went to the bathroom and saw the blood? And she don't know, do they come during the dinner or during the, so you can get technical. But no, our question is not that question though, right? Our question is, she knows the blood came just before sunset. She has to make that day up. No. But I fasted all day. Today was 17 hours, and I fasted 16 hours and 58 minutes. I'm sorry, sister. You got to make that day up.
And the same is true if a man broke his fast with a reason, if he got sick moments before the breaking of his fast, or if someone lost their aql, like let's say they passed out.
Yeah. Well, passed out.
Or lost their sanity. I don't know the better way to say it. They went crazy.
Lost their sanity would be good. That's for someone maybe fainting fainting, maybe they should break their fast anyway because they're probably fainting because of lack of nutrition or something.
No, no,
But that's not sanity, right?
no.
Okay, so there's our questions. I would recommend I'll put this test in the group, and I'll inshallah put it in the um, group. I mean the video description. Inshallah, once I put it in my Google account, and then maybe make it all ready where it can be put in there. I'll put a link in there in the description where this can be printed out. And like I said, I recommend that you write it out. Write out the whole test. It's good for you for your handwriting, and then say it, and then make it like I said. Don't just say al-qada, and don't do like I did at the bottom here and say udhrun or ghayri be udhrun or be ghayri udhrun, and then al-qada wal-qada wal-it'am. No, say kana yata'akhkhar, and you can go to the page and you can copy what's on the page. No problem. إن كان يتأخر بعذر فعليه القضاء وإن تأخر بغير عذر فعليه القضاء والإطعام مسكينا عن كل يوم. And write a complete sentence. Write a complete sentence out. It's going to be good for you because it's going to help you own these words. And once you own the words, man, you can use them anytime you want. So it's good. So write out and just don't, like I said, don't just put al-qada. So alayha, at the very least, alayha al-qada. Yeah, alayha al-qada. Simple, you know. So, or you know, if you can make a fuller sentence out of what we've gone through here, make a fuller sentence. Right? Make a fuller sentence, inshallah. Anyway, this book that I have, let me see where am I? Let me get my mouse over here.
Where did you get the test?
This book, the test is this book.
Oh, mashallah.
التعليق المحرر على الكتاب الفقه الميسر. This is 2 volumes. 2 big volumes. This volume here has well over 500 pages, almost 500 over 560, 70 pages. And at the end of every section, there's a test. At the end of every section, there's a test. So this is by the publisher is مركز التفكر للبحوث والدراسات. But it's called التعليق المحرر على كتاب الفقه الميسر. So if you type that in, then you can find it, inshallah ta'ala. And if you want to order it, it's probably going to be kind of expensive because it's, you know, it's a very nice book and it's printed nicely, and the hardback is very nice, and the paper and everything is nice. And if you're getting it overseas, it's going to be a little nicer, but I mean a little more expensive for shipping and stuff. But it's a good book. It just has some brief notes about like where the hadith is, and if there's something maybe the ulama say this or that, or you know, maybe some the notes are, let me see if I'll put this back up. So for example, the notes are not very much. You know, the ta'liq is more so just like a comment, like comments. It's not really an explanation, but then there are other heftier notes as well. They're not all just where the hadith is or takhrij or anything. Some of them are a little bit more. What do the Maliki say here? The madhab of the Hanafiya and the Malikiyya, right? They say that I had a Qawlayn and Shafi'iyya. They say this. So it gets into a little bit here and there, and some more. I mean, there's another page with a lot of ta'liqat, but mostly it's there's not that much commentary, but the commentary that's there is beneficial. So that's there. I'm going to put the PDF in there later today, inshallah ta'ala. I recommend that you go in there and fill it out, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And any questions about the test?
Thank you for not making me do it in Arabic because I would have failed tremendously.
No, inshallah. I'm thinking about making like a 1 hour, just like a 1-part video, just basically summarizing this whole chapter in 1 part in English. That's what I'm thinking about doing. This whole
If you do
section.
that, I would find tremendous benefit in it, and the people that I shared with on my social media would also find that very beneficial.
Inshallah, we'll try to see if we have time to do that today. Tomorrow, I believe our schedule is for
Well,
Umdatul
no, Umdatul Ahkam.
Ahkam, inshallah. And then Mu'allim as-Sunnah the next day. And we'll just continue with our normal schedule until Ramadan. Then in Ramadan, we'll figure out if we're going to do anything, when, and how we're going to do it. And then after Ramadan, that's when we'll implement Nahl Wadih. I wanted to do that before Ramadan, but it makes sense to go over this book, and hopefully you guys found it beneficial. I did. And inshallah ta'ala, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.